and on again with the XT. Just a note on the oil pickup, the oil strainer. Quite a bit of debris in there. I think more silicone than what have you. I will have a look at it, wash it all out and have a look what we actually got in there. But yeah, that's what the oil strainer looks like. Look at that crankshaft. I reckon that is, isn't that 1/2 of a Scania or something? Hey, wow. So yeah, one hell of a crankshaft there. So yeah, looks okay. Gearbox all sorted. Just gonna literally take everything out so we can get the bearings and everything out and get it in the vapor blaster. So again, the other side crankcase wants cleaning up. Bearings, funny in cases, isn't it? It's like an amplifier. You think, is that noisy? But then you get it out, take it out of the case, and that's spinning in your fingers, and there's nothing. It can be a bit. But anyway, I think the main bearings seem okay. But moving on. Now, I don't think. So let me make sure you're seeing. I don't think that plug should be as far in there. That's certainly not good for plane path. Recess so far down inside that head. Yeah, I know it'll still work. Yeah, I know the mixture's still there, but the flame path, the way it's supposed to work, and I'm sure with it, seeing the remainder of some of the threads in there, I'm sure Yamaha didn't design it that way. So, but what gets me is, what gets me on this is, what is that? You know, I'm going to have another look for it and see if that is the correct plug for this thing. It looks a hell of a massive thing. Anyway, I haven't researched it, so you know, I'm going to look into it, but that just seems an awfully big plug, that, for a. But it's definitely a short reach when I think it should be a long reach sticking through there. Anyway, we have the components all. This is, so we want valves out. We've got new stem seals going in. So it's take valves out and grind the valves in, check valve guides for wear. Yeah, look into this plug. I'm sure the last ones I had didn't have a plug like that, but anyway, look, we'll look into it and have a look. So there we go, we've got crankcase halves, see the gearbox all in its glory, and I'm going to get this all out, put out on the bench. We've got everything else ordered, on order, so we'll pick it up when we've got a bit more. And just an update. So the original main bearings, just, I think the camera's picking that up, but there's just notches in it, just like a bit of pits, and you know, for the cost of them, it's not so much over the cost of them, but for the we're in that far. I think it's just kind of crazy to not do it. Got a slight shadow, you know, a slight doubt on them. So do you know what? So anyway, there's one of them installed. The crank now. Turns as smooth as silk, no noises. Just left that bolt there to remind me that the oil pump's not tight. So everything's installed, case is back together. So if I just spin round again, it's always tool up time when we start filming it, because we've just done a step closer. I didn't bother painting in here, there's no need to have it painted in here. So as you can see, she's looking a lot nicer, a lot fresher, and obviously new seals. Got a full pack of the new seals. What else has come? Right, yeah, well, right, let's have a look. I tried filing up the head bolts, and you know what? Again, Yamaha cylinder nuts, genuine Yamaha. So there they are. There's what's going to be rolling on to hold the barrel on. I'm going to come to do that. Changed all the seals everywhere in this, under here, in here as you can see, in here, everywhere, full. There's the one to go in and the gear change shaft to go in yet, but new oil seals in everywhere. I've seen these leak a lot, and the bearings in here on these and the SR500s, so that was, but the bearing on this one's actually okay. It was just the seal that wanted changing in there. New copper washers behind here. So yeah, ready to rock and roll with what was I going to tell you? Ah, yes, right, okay. So I'm going to make a little bit of room, tool up a minute, and we'll pick it back up to you in a second. Right, had a bit of wipe up and a bit of a clean up. Quite busy this morning with this. Yeah, main bearings, as I said previously, massive frigging things. But anyway, here's one of them. The other one's slightly smaller. The other one's in here. Look. They're the two main bearings out of it. So anyway, they're in. New seals, job done with that side of it. So we like shiny bits now. What we needed now to move forward was some shiny bits. So let's have a look at some shiny bits. Look at this. Yeah, hey, look at this. Okay. Right. We've got to, when the cylinder's down there, I've got to get the cylinder. The cylinder's been blasted, but it could do with a little bit more actually. The paint is awful on the cylinder. So there we go on our 0.5 ring set. Have a look at this bad boy in here. Are you seeing? Let me see what you're seeing. Have a look at this bad boy. Oh yes. New gudgeon pin. Circlips. Okay. Let me put it there for now because I'm going to put it back after the video. So yeah, there we go. A new 0.5. Beautiful. Beautiful made. German made. 0.5. And obviously that's going to be a bit better than the one over there. No need to drag him out, we've seen him before. So we need to just do, what I'll do is a video on a comparison of this in the bore as opposed to the original one over there in the bore, you know, for clearances wise. Then we'll look at some actual clearances, and they're supposed to be both the same. Obviously one's new, one's old. So we can look and see whether the clearances actually come back up into spec. So yeah, not a cheap item, it has to be said. Kind of frigging TZ prices, some of this stuff. It's, you know, but there's a lot in Australia, there's a lot in America, there's a few in the UK, but I mean a well-known company down in the south east, yes, down in the southeast, there's a lot of Yamaha spares. It's kind of crazy money. 170, was it 165, 175, somewhere in that ballpark anyway. And that was just for that. Then you need to buy that, then you need to buy them, and then you need to buy that, and that's genuine Yamaha. But you know, look, when I look at the machining and the work in that, and then I look at a standard piston, I actually think, you know what, these have got a good reviews, this make, and it's been Teflon spray coated Teflon on it. So it worked out more cost effective to buy that than it did to buy a genuine Yamaha one, certainly with the looking that I've done. I mean, with these kind of jobs you can literally spend hours researching stuff, trying to find stuff, and you know, and get the best price for your customer and that kind of thing. But there comes a time, there does come a time when it's like, look, I found one, I'm trying to, you know, I'm struggling to get a tenner off that somewhere else or whatever like that, and it's just, look, it's got to have it, it's just got to buy it. So there we are. Yeah, we've got nice shiny bits to go in. We will do a video on on clearances in the bore, and if I put it that way, I can put the circle up and gudgeon pin, and I'll put them, in fact I'll put them underneath. In they go, in there, nice and careful, and there we go. That's what's going in it. So we have our new piston. I've got the bore to finish, the cylinder to finish, and paintwork wise to finish, and hone it. So like I say, we'll do some clearance comparisons between old piston and new piston and pick it up from there. So I think that's all there's to tell at the minute. What we've got to do now is get ignition back on. And I think what we're going to do is start and build primary gears up, clutch, that sort of thing. Finish the oil pump and just finish prep the faces, whatever, for gaskets. But yeah, we're good to go. So yeah, she's going to look sweet. Okay, thanks for watching again, and we'll pick it up in a bit. Okay, yeah, getting her back together. So bottom end pretty much back together. All new seals, etc. fitted, and blah blah blah. So we're waiting now, just get some rags stuffed into this now and get this ready for the cylinder prepping. Just getting this cover as well prepped. This inspection, timing inspection hole bung or whatever could do with a replacement. It looks awful. So yeah, as you can see, new oil seals. Take the seals out, ready. We'll get this painted, gets blasted off, then painted. Here's the old, take the gudgeon pin out, here's the old piston, as we mentioned before. So we're going to do a bit of a video on clearances between old and new, but I just want to pick up on what we found with this. It's I mentioned before, I think, on one of the videos. Let me get this down and put this down with both hands. Just bear with me. Right. Well, is that going to stay there? No. Is that going to stay there? Yeah. Right. This cylinder head. The plug in this head is. It jumped out at me right from day one that it was bloody hell, what bloody plug's that in there, sort of thing. But anyway, as you can see, about 3 turns, if that, on a inch deep socket. It's an actual low short reach NGK A6. Now I've just been on the internet and researched that. That's a British Seagull outboard motor engine spark plug. Yeah, I don't know what. It's 18mm diameter. Just take me piston away again. We've got an 18mm diameter, 17.8. So we've got an 18mm. It's 1.5 pitch. But when we look inside the head, I'm going to get a torch for this. When we look inside the head is really deep. Just let me make sure this picks this up. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. It's had a good old tap out to the British Seagull plug, but it's only biting on the last 3 threads in there. You can see combustion soot all the way up the plug hole up to. So if I just try, just hang on a second now, let me try pulling it back, then you can see. Yeah, it's never straightforward, is it? Hey, just let me get that. It really is a bit vague, that in there. There we go. Can just get that. And that's it. That's it. It's tight. So Okay, so let's give that a nip. If you dare, you know, I wouldn't dare tighten that up. I really wouldn't dare tighten that up. So let's have another quick look in there now. Again, just let me check what you're seeing. Make sure. See the plug in there? We've got to do something with this. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it, to be honest, but I've got to bit of head scratching moments on what I'm going to do with this. But that's it. It plugs in. As you can see, the plug's in, and it's so far up the anyway, head scratching. I'll have a word with a few people and see what we can. We'll have to make an insert or something for this to get it back to, that just nips, but do you know what, it's on so I don't think that even turned 3 times before it came out. The first bit is about the only, so I'm hoping down there, or would it work better that way? Well, I think you can gauge and kind of see what I'm talking about. The sort of full standard length in there. I mean, didn't these have like a B8 ES or a B9 ES or something in them as standard? And anyway, I've got to do some research and some head scratching on this, and find out what we're going to do and come up with for this. So, but yeah, if you go online, an A6, NGK A6 is actually for a British Seagull engine, so we've got a bit of an issue with this head. I wish I'd actually looked at this before, because it slows me down again. I mean, I don't know, we'll have to look into this. I mean, obviously this is well on the way back up now. We can get the barrel done, get the cylinder done, do the video on the clearances, etc., but the head's going to slow us down. But anyway, we'll pick it up when I come up with a solution. Okay, see you in a bit.